Let us stand to welcome the President of the Republic, Mr. Wivel Ramkalawan, and the First Lady, Mrs. Linda Ramkalawan. President of the Republic of Seychelles, Mr. Wivel Ramkalawan, and Mrs. Linda Ramkalawan, Acting Regional Director and Representative of UNESCO's Regional Office for Eastern Africa, Dr. Alexandros Makarigaki, Ministers of the Republic of Seychelles, Minister for Basic Education of the Republic of South Africa, Her Excellency Mrs. Matsi Motshega, Leader of Government Business in the National Assembly, Chairperson of the Governing Board of the Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education under the auspices of UNESCO, Dr. Setsa Marope, Chairperson, members of the Board, and Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Early Childhood Development of Seychelles, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Ombudsman, Secretary to the Cabinet, Chief Secretary of the Public Service Bureau, Principal Secretaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the inauguration ceremony of the Institute for Early Childhood Development, Iecd, as a Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education under the auspices of UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Greetings to those joining us on SBC and YouTube to share this memorable event. We would like to extend our heartiest greetings to the President of the Republic of Seychelles, Mr. Wivel Ramkalawan and Mrs. Ramkalawan. We are honored by your presence at this evening's event. We are also very privileged to have amongst us Dr. Mount Setsa Marope, the chairperson of the newly established governing board of the Category 2 Center. We thank you for being here to grace this auspicious occasion. We extend a warm welcome to the Acting Regional Director and Representative of UNESCO's Regional Office for Eastern Africa, Mr. Alexandros Makarigaki. Special welcome also goes to the Minister of Basic Education of the Republic of South Africa, Her Excellency Mrs. Matsi Motshega. Ladies and gentlemen, this year, Iecd celebrated its 10th anniversary, a decade of existence marked by some notable achievements, which led to its designation as a Best Practice Hub by the International Bureau of Education in 2017. This recognition spurred the institution to start the long process of becoming a Category 2 Center of Excellence for Early Childhood Care and Development. We are here to witness the fruition of this endeavor this evening. My name is Travis Payet, and I'm honored to serve as your MC. Before proceeding, let us pause for spiritual reflection. Please join me in welcoming Vicar General Father Eric Leon from the Roman Catholic Church and Reverend Christine Benoit from the Anglican Church for a special blessing and for the start of Iecd's new mandate and journey ahead.
Good afternoon, you all. It's good for us to start with this spiritual moment because taking care of children is also taking care of God in our life. So thank you for welcoming this moment of reflection and spiritual wisdom. I will start with a very small song which children used to sing in our community. Here I am, oh Lord, here I am just like a child. Here I am, oh Lord, here I am just like a child. We can sing it together if you wish. Here I am, oh Lord. Here I am just like a child. Here I am, oh Lord. Here I am just like a child. We all have a child in us, and in front of God, we are the whole humanity, children of God. So let us open our horizon, our heart, to the one who gives us life through his love and care for us.
Greetings, you all. And just as Father Eric already reminded us that there's a child in us, the scripture reminds us that we need to be like a child to be welcome in God's kingdom. And we have to treat one another with so much love and care. And the scripture also reminds us that children is a gift from God. So all gifts from God are precious. You are precious. We are also precious, and the children are so precious. And as we gather this evening, it's just another reminder that we need to ensure that in all that we do, our focus should be honoring God and the child in us and blessing those children that we journey with. And as we embark on this new journey, be mindful that no matter what we do, there's one looking on us, and that's God. And I've once said to another group earlier this week that, if we look at one another, what do you see? We should be mindful that it's the image of God in one another. And as we honor this, be mindful that, those precious child, the scripture reminds us, when we teach our children, he or she will not run away from it. Even if there are instances that we feel that they've ignored what we've taught them. I mean, just like you and me. There are things that our parents have taught us that we were like, okay, we rebel. You agree with me, right? We rebel. We don't always honor what we've been taught. But later on in life, we realize how precious those words were and how we now need to honor those moments. So when we teach a child, the child will grow with it. Maybe now they don't realize, but later on, there's something that will come back. So with that, let us also give thanks to God for this moment. Let's cherish those moments. Let us realize that children are so precious. And if they are precious, we need to take care of them. And we also need to take care of ourselves. Let us bless the Lord for those who have journeyed all the way to ensure that we are able to have something better for our children. We are blessed here in the Seychelles. So let's take that blessing seriously and give thanks to God.
To be a disciple of love, we need to be like a child. And those who love children and care for them, they are doing the same mission as God to the universe, to humanity. So for us to be as God, we need to take care of all those who are more vulnerable and the little ones. So let us pray. We keep a moment of silence, each one of us in our heart. We call upon this childhood we have been given. And we can also remember wonderful moments of our childhood or suffering moment to offer as a precious gift to the Lord. Lord, our Creator, you are the source of life. And by giving us, creature, your life, you spark in us the newness of your love, of your life. Lord, we ask your blessing today on all those who are giving themselves to take care of each and every children in our country, in the world. Bless them. Bless this new starting that we are about to launch today. Bless our initiative, our effort, our vision. Bless our project. May our project join with yours, who is to save and to love. Amen.
Amen.
Here I am, oh Lord. Here I am just like a child. Here I am, oh Lord. Here I am just like a child. Thank you.
Thank you and bless you all.
Thank you for the prayerful reflection. I now have the honor of inviting Mrs. Shirley Shupi, the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute for Early Childhood Development, Iecd, who will deliver the welcoming remarks.
President of the Republic of Seychelles, Mr. Wavell Ramkalawan and Mrs. Linda Ramkalawan, Acting Regional Director and Representative of the UNESCO Regional Office for Eastern Africa, Dr. Alexandros Makara-Gakis, Ministers of the Republic of Seychelles, Minister for Basic Education of the Republic of South Africa, Her Excellency Mrs. Matki Mochedga, Chairperson of the Governing Board of the Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education, Dr. Manzet Marope, Chairperson, members of the Board of the Institute of Early Childhood Development, Seychelles, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am deeply honored and humbled to stand before you on this momentous occasion as the CEO of our esteemed Early Childhood Development Institute. We come together to mark the inauguration of our Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education, proudly operating under the auspices of UNESCO. The journey to this remarkable achievement has been guided by our vision, which states, Seychellois children enjoying quality early childhood care and education through the shared commitment of all partners. And it is a privilege to have been part of and to lead this transformative endeavor. The relentless efforts of our dedicated team, the endorsement of the government and UNESCO affirm our drive for excellence and innovation. As we celebrate our accomplishments, we look ahead with great optimism to reaffirm our pledge to ensure all children, without exception in Seychelles and the world, has a strong and winning head start in life. This will pave the way for a brighter future. Today, we celebrate the success story of how we, as a small island developing nation, has, despite the challenges, been able to spearhead the ECC agenda, give strategic direction and leadership to integrate ECC within a coordinated, multi-sectoral context. This exemplary collaborative approach has been efficient, effective, and successful, a model of good practice in ECC, which we are eager to share and implement with other countries of the world and the international organizations. Having reached such a high international standard as a UNESCO Center of Excellence for ECCE, we can look back at our journey, our diligent work and achievements, and be reassured that what seemed impossible has become possible. I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the government of Seychelles, the founding members, the local board, the UNESCO Secretariat, ECC sectors, partners, and stakeholders who supported Iecd. We sincerely appreciate your determination and zeal, which led to the transformation of Iecd to be recognized today as a Category 2 center under the auspices of UNESCO. Your trust in our mission and strategic action has been immensely valuable. Today, we embark on our new journey that will shape the future of education and development for our youngest generation. The journey holds great promise for our communities, our partners, our stakeholders, our region, globally, and beyond. However, no endeavor of this magnitude can thrive in isolation. It requires the engagement of political and technical leadership nationally and internationally. I call on the leaders of Seychelles and in the relevant ECC sectors, and equally the leaders of the world, to commit themselves to early childhood care and education and join us in this noble cause. We need your support and guidance. Together, we can make a profound impact on the challenges we face, and together we can create a brighter future for all our children. As the ceremony unfolds, we hope to tell you the story of our achievements and to share our aspiration for the future. I wish to thank you very much for joining us today as we make this critical leap forward, embracing our new international mandate. I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Chopi. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite you to follow a short video that will showcase the Iecd's journey from its inception to the present date. Our journey has been truly inspiring, and we have every reason to celebrate such accomplishments. We are privileged to have Mr. Alexandros Makarigaki, the Acting Regional Director and representative of the UNESCO's Regional Office for Eastern Africa, with us today. I now have the pleasure to invite him for his address.
President of the Republic of Seychelles, Mr. Wavel Ramakalawan, and Mrs. Linda Ramakalawan, Ministers of the Republic of Seychelles, Minister of Basic Education of the Republic of South Africa, Her Excellency Ms. Matsi Motseka, Chairperson of the Governing Board of the Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education, Dr. Manchecha Maropi, Chairperson, members of the Board, and Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Early Childhood Development Seychelles, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm deeply honored to represent today Madame Stefania Giannini, UNESCO's Assistant Director General for Education, on this monumental occasion. As we gather to commemorate the inauguration of the Institute of Early Childhood Development in Seychelles, it is clear that the recognition of Seychelles Iecd is not merely by chance. Instead, it's a result from years of tireless work in early childhood care and education. Your tenacity, expertise, and passion have been the driving force behind this significant achievement, highlighting the true spirit of collaboration, innovation, and dedication. By joining the esteemed network of UNESCO's Category 2 centers, Seychelles is well positioned to further bolster its early childhood education endeavors by sharing its expertise and drawing from global best practices. Some of you must wonder what being a UNESCO Category 2 center truly means. So allow me to explain that it's more than just a prestigious title. It carries responsibility and honor with it. Category 2 institutes and centers are critical in UNESCO's global agenda, becoming bastions of knowledge, research, and policy development. Category 2 institutes and centers operate under the auspices of UNESCO. Member states propose these institutions. Their primary purpose is to contribute to the realization of UNESCO's strategy and approved program. This contribution aligns with global agreements, action plans, sector-specific programs, and priorities. The means of their contribution encompasses 5 areas: international and regional cooperation, through fostering ties and building bridges between countries and regions. These institutes and centers play a crucial role in promoting mutual understanding, sharing best practices, and facilitating collaborative projects that address global challenges and promote sustainable development. Research. By delving deep into scientific, cultural, and education studies, these institutes and centers generate insights, data, and methodologies. The research initiatives contribute to the global knowledge pool and inform policy making and program development in alignment with UNESCO's objectives. Knowledge production. Beyond mere research, these centers are hubs of innovation, producing new knowledge, tools, and resources. By synthesizing existing information and exploring uncharted territories, they help advance the frontiers of knowledge and introduce novel perspectives and solutions to contemporary issues. Policy advice. Leveraging their expertise and research outcomes, these institutes and centers offer strategic guidance to governments, educational institutions, and other stakeholders. Their policy recommendations are instrumental in shaping effective strategies, ensuring that actions taken at the ground resonate from global goals and standards set by UNESCO. Last but not least, capacity enhancement. Recognizing the importance of skill development and institutional strengthening, these institutes and centers conduct training programs, workshops, and seminars. Through these initiatives, they uplift professionals, educators, and policymakers, ensuring that they are well equipped to drive positive change in their respective fields and communities. Mr. President, with your permission, I would like to open a short page of the Iecd journey to Category 2 Center. Madame Chopi, the journey you and your dedicated team have undertaken with the support of the entire nation is just amazing. The voyage from a simple conceptual idea to its endorsement by the General Conference of UNESCO is an indication to the perseverance, dedication, and unwavering commitment of everyone involved. It's not just about reaching a destination, but about remembering and appreciating the challenges, learnings, and milestones encountered along the way. Since the beginning of 2023, Seychelles has not only added its names to a list, but has taken a monumental step forward in a global landscape. By joining the esteemed international community of UNESCO Category 2 centers and institutes, Seychelles has firmly positioned itself on the global stage, signaling a profound commitment to nurturing the future of our children around the world. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to repeat what I just said, because I want to make sure that it sinks in. By joining the esteemed international community of Category 2 centers and institutes, Seychelles has firmly positioned itself on the global stage. Signaling a profound commitment to nurturing the future of our children around the world. This dedication to fostering excellence in early childhood care and education is not just a statement, but a reflection of the nation's values and aspirations. Such a remarkable achievement, born from hard work, collaboration, vision, truly merits a hearty round of applause and deep appreciation of all of us. Your Excellency, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, it fills me with immense pride to highlight Seychelles' remarkable early childhood care and education achievements. When we discuss excellence in early childhood care and education on the African continent or in the Iecd countries, Seychelles stands out as a shining example. This remarkable archipelago has showcased an exemplary commitment to its youngest citizens. Seychelles' investments in ECCE, marked by an impressive infrastructure of early learning centers and a curriculum rooted in holistic child development. And it is a testament to what is possible with dedication and vision. With well-trained educators and state-of-the-art facilities, Seychelles ensures that every child embarks on an educational journey that's second to none. The achievements here underscore the profound impact of prioritizing the early years, and we hope to see this model replicated across the continent and beyond. Yet, as we revel in our accomplishments, we must acknowledge that not all children globally are as fortunate as the young souls in Seychelles. As we shine a light in the roadblocks inhibiting our global progress in ECCE, we must dissect its challenge, understanding its unique facets and nuances. Infrastructure and accessibility. At ECCE's core is the nurturing environment where our children learn and grow. And while we've made strides, a vast number still needs to be afforded even the basic facilities. Quality, safety, and accessibility should be paramount. In places like developing countries and beyond, many educational infrastructures await enhancement. Even where these infrastructures exist, there needs to be more well-trained educators who can aptly guide our future generation. This is an avenue for the Category 2 center and standards that could be revamped and monitored. Moving on, we encounter a more intrinsic challenge, the polycrisis. Our children's air quality, the stability of their surroundings, and their holistic health form the very bedrock of the early years. Environmental challenges, persistent conflicts, and health crises, notably the COVID-19, threaten this foundation constantly. On another note, the economic landscapes intertwine significantly with these early childhood development obstacles. Let me recall that the prosperity of a nation or community heavily influences its children's educational path and, by extension, its broader development. Economic disparities, whether through the binds of poverty or limited resources, cast an elongated shadow on ECCE. Further to the tangible infrastructure and economic challenges, there are some hurdles which can be found deep within societal structures. Cultural and social barriers, prejudices, biases, and societal norms often dictate educational access. From gender biases, which we see manifesting even in early childhood, to the lack of inclusivity for diverse needs, these barriers might remain unseen, but their impact is felt. Lastly, a challenge often overlooked: parental involvement, notably the role of fathers. The family is a child's initial touchpoint to education. While mothers are traditionally involved, fathers' role is crucial and sometimes shadowed by societal norms or unawareness. Both parents must have pivotal roles in nurturing and educating young children. This importance should be mirrored in public policies, especially concerning parental leaves and benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of any thriving development, especially educational initiatives, lies in the robust support of its governing bodies. Today, despite all congratulations already addressed, UNESCO calls upon the government of Seychelles to recognize the immense potential and transformative power of the Category 2 Center on ECC. By bolstering the Center's endeavors with policy, finance, and public awareness campaigns as stipulated in the Iecd Act, we can ensure that these ripples extend far and wide, touching every child and every community in Seychelles, Africa, and worldwide. UNESCO's commitment to advancing early childhood and care and education remains unwavering globally. This commitment is reflected in the task and declaration. Yet, UNESCO commits to monitor progress and identifying challenges in all member states, and the Iecd and the Category 2 Center could be a key actor in that work. The Regional Office for Eastern Africa and our headquarters stand ready to collaborate closely with you in nurturing the young minds of today for a brighter, more prosperous tomorrow. By facilitating knowledge exchange, providing technical support, and building capacities, the Regional Office is committed to fortifying Iecd in its mission. Whether within our regional borders or extending beyond them, the synergy between UNESCO and Iecd promises a harmonized approach to delivering exceptional early childhood education. With you, UNESCO will organize joint missions and working sessions to maximize the support of the Iecd Category 2 Center. Before concluding, allow me to emphasize the importance of partnerships. The Iecd needs a strong alliance between governments and international organizations to foster bilateral and multilateral partnerships for its mission. This will involve collaborating with stakeholders committed to ECCE goals and can offer financial support, technical expertise, and advocacy. In this context, let me mention the Global Partnership Strategy known as GPS for ECCE, initiated by UNESCO during the COVID pandemic, which brought together more than 40 organizations to work and deliver together. How to move the ECCE agenda is well detailed in the 5 strategies, which are also written more clearly in the 4 pillars of the task and declaration. By concluding, Montillava, content remercier premièrement Président, les officiers gouvernement, tout membre Iecd et tout le monde qui vient recevoir nous dans sa jolie pays.
Thank you, Mr. Makarigaki, for your words of encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have a special video message from Mrs. Stefania Giannini, UNESCO's Assistant Director for Education, to mark this momentous occasion.
Your Excellency, President Rak Malawan, President of Seychelles, honorable ministers, guests, today we mark a very important moment as we are in a process of inauguration of the Institute of Early Childhood Development in Seychelles as a Category 2 center under the auspices of UNESCO. As one of the first African countries to achieve universal primary education, Seychelles has prioritized the foundational years of learning, ensuring early universal access to pre-primary education for children aged 3 to 5. With this UNESCO recognition, the Institute for Early Childhood Development is very well positioned to be a leader in early childhood care and education globally. To bring the promise to fruition, I wish to propose a kind of, recommendations or initiatives that you can bring ahead for the center. Number one, organizing conferences to attract global expertise and shed light on emerging trends. Number two, offering training programs and online courses for educators and policymakers. Number three, creating an online platform as kind of space for exchange, exploration, and most importantly, sharing good practices. Number four, setting quality standards for early childhood care and education. And last but not least, embracing technology and partner with tech leaders to become a hub for innovation. We know it's an ambitious roadmap, but we know you can get it. And yet, as we celebrate the achievements in Seychelles and look forward to the potential of this institute, we must be mindful of the global challenges that persist, particularly in Africa. These challenges include limited access, with only 1 in every 2 children receiving early childhood education in Africa; equity concerns, as costs hinder access to pre-primary school for marginalized children; finance, with only 2% of education budgets in low-income countries allocated to pre-primary education. And on this last issue, the issue of finance, which is a very important one, the Tashkent Declaration adopted last year underscores the urgency of investing in early childhood care and education. It calls, as you maybe remember, on governments to allocate at least 10% of education expenditure to pre-primary education. Through increased investment and the actions of the new center in Seychelles, we can achieve SDG 4.2 for all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development care and pre-primary education. I wish you a very productive discussion, and I thank you very much.
We acknowledge and welcome the good wishes and message of support from the ADG. Our program continues with the launch of the second edition of the Seychelles Framework for Early Childhood Care and Education. Ladies and gentlemen, the next video will showcase the process of revising and formulating this important national document, as well as its content and implementation planned for the period 2023 to 2030.
It's been a long time coming. In 2011, in October precisely, following the recommendations at the UNESCO World Conference on Early Childhood Care and Education held the previous year in Moscow, the Seychelles adopted the first framework for childhood care and education.
UNESCO made a strong appeal to the governments of the world to adopt a broad and holistic approach towards ACC.
The Seychelles Island pledged that it would lead by example, bringing together all stakeholders and partners in childhood care and education for the benefit of the younger generations for one of the world's smallest island states. In 2013, exactly 10 years ago, the Institute for Early Childhood Development, Iecd, was created, and the Seychelles adopted its first framework for childhood care development.
So it's been about a little bit about 10 years since we have implemented this framework, and as part of the strategic and visioning exercise of the Institute for the next 5 years, in 2022, we decided to review the framework because we've made significant progress and achievements with regards to ECC in the country. Iecd coordinated the review of the framework, and it was done through a rigorous and consultative process whereby we consulted all the ECC sectors, partners, and stakeholders.
The new framework looked to build on the achievements and progress made over the last decade, with the vision being of winning for children, winning for all, and striving to achieve the maximum potential of every child.
The framework was presented at Cabinet in May 2023, and it was unanimously approved by the Cabinet for Seychelles to have a new framework.
This new framework focuses on the next 7 years, 2023 to 2030, and it aims at accomplishing the targets of the SDGs, impacting on the lives of children, which is ensuring no poverty, improved nutrition, good health and well-being, quality education, amongst others, and the implementation of policies that will ensure a holistic approach in childcare, not only in Seychelles, but a vision for the children of the world.
The framework is structured around 6 quality themes. 1, governance, and with governance there is a focus on leadership, on coordinating funding, and on reinforcing standards. 2, ensuring quality access. And there are 3 considerations to that. First of all, expanding provisions, ECC provision. Secondly, expanding the provisions. And thirdly, working on improving the conditions. 3, promoting learning and development. And with this, there are programs to support early learning programs and monitoring processes. Also, we are building on the program of maternal and child health and extending child protection provision. Engaging families and communities with emphasis on a national parenting program, intervention with family programs, and community-based activities. 5th, there is a need to strengthen the workforce, ECC workforce. And we are interested in professionalizing the workforce and continue the training of ECC workers and improving the supporting conditions for workers. Finally, the 6th theme refers to advancing research and data management. And we do this by sustaining the research-based methodologies which have been developed. We also have a need for quality data and making data available, and establishing a central national database.
As ambitious as the vision of this framework sounds like, its success can only be guaranteed by the commitment of all partners and stakeholders in working together. There will be challenges along the way, which is why all those themes are being implemented by various actors in ECC sectors and all their partners.
In March 2022, I chaired the thematic working group on research and data availability, and representatives from education, health, social affairs, local government and community affairs, family and sports, the ICT and Iecd itself participated. Now we looked at the achievements of the ambitious plan that Iecd embarked on to address weaknesses from the SABRE report of the World Bank. And we gained consensus on the achievements. We agreed on the achievements made with regards to research and data availability. And we also identified perceptions about critical issues and the problems in the ECC sector in relation to research and data availability. We made policy suggestions, recommendations for the revised framework. So in terms of achievements, we identified 2 main ones. There had been a central positioning of a research-based approach that has been instrumental in developing and sustaining
These working groups identified various key achievements or challenges pertaining to their sectors, things like improving home-based childcare services, or the development milestone in children's health, the assessment of early learning in preschool, evaluating of parenting programs, or community engagement in the lives of children.
Now, we identified some critical issues that need to be looked at. We found that there are inadequate technological tools at times. So we came up with policy suggestions that there is a strong investment in adequate technological tools to collect, process, and analyze data. And finally, that the data management project is maintained. And we found that it would probably be necessary to devise follow-up plans to ensure systematic data collection and depend analysis.
For us in Seychelles, we are excited to implement the new framework for early childhood care and education, and also in our new mandate, international mandate, as a Category 2 center for ECC under the auspices of UNESCO. And we plan to sell the framework with the countries in the region, on the continent, on the African continent and beyond, because we feel that it is an excellent document, and that we can also use it as the basis for technical assistance and support to other countries in need, and to help them develop their ECC system.
The framework is indeed forward-looking. I now have the pleasure to invite the CEO of Iecd, Mrs. Shirley Shopi, to present a copy of the document, as well as the recently launched National Action Plan for ECC 2023-2024 to our guests of honor. President Ramkalawan, Minister Motcheka, Minister Valentin, and Mr. Makarigaki. Thank you, Mrs. Shopi. My apologies, Dr. Marupi. Thank you, Mrs. Shopi. Now, I have the honor of inviting the chairperson of the governing board of the Category 2 Center for ECC, Dr. Mansesta Marupi, for her keynote address.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Seychelles, President Wavel Ramkalawan, and the Mother of the Nation and First Lady, Mrs. Linda Ramkalawan, may I greet you sincerely on my behalf and on behalf of the board of the Category 2 Center of the Iecd under the auspices of UNESCO. The acting regional director and representative of UNESCO Regional Office for East Africa, Dr. Alexandro Makarikakis, Honorable Ministers of the Republic of Seychelles, Honorable Minister of Basic Education of the Republic of South Africa, Your Excellency, Mrs. Matsie Angelina Motsekga, Chairperson and members of the board, I want to particularly recognize Captain David Savi for chairing the Iecd board and for navigating it to date. Madam Shopi, the CEO of Iecd and of the Category 2 Institute as it evolves. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants. A very good afternoon from beautiful Seychelles. It's always a pleasure to be here. And many thanks, Master of Ceremony, for forgetting me. I actually was hoping you would have forgotten to call me to speak. That would be a more constructive forgetfulness. But let me tonight just acknowledge that we are about to bear witness to a momentous event in Seychelles, in front of the nation, but in front of the world, particularly the 194 UNESCO member states and its associated member states and organizations. We are about to celebrate Seychelles' success over the years. A well-earned success, I must say. I underline celebrate because the landmark decision was made in 2019 when the 40th session of the UNESCO General Conference unanimously decided to welcome Seychelles Iecd into the regional center, what do you call it? The prestigious who's who of, I don't know. But this is not a small achievement for Seychelles to have acceded to this level. It was a recognition of impressive achievements that Seychelles had already made towards fulfilling the promise to every child to have holistic early development. I personally and professionally am overjoyed for the privilege I have had to accompany Seychelles through this journey, an arduous journey, I must add, but a very fulfilling one. Master of Ceremony, I think you've heard many people refer to the Moscow Conference. It was the first ever UNESCO Global Conference on ECCD, which I had the privilege to lead technically because it fell under my division while I was still at headquarters. And the journey started at the closing of that conference. We had invited former President Danny Rollenford to close the conference. And when he closed the conference, he said he was going to lead by example. And today, here we are. In 2022, Your Excellency, I had the pleasure of participating, albeit virtually, in the Tashkent second UNESCO conference on early childhood care and education. And I was most warmly joyous to hear you, Your Excellency, say again, Seychelles is going to lead by example. Not only that, championing ECCD, not just for Seychelles, but for the world. So we can see that this achievement has had successive fathers. In my culture, we joke that success has many fathers, but failures have only mothers. And this refers at home When children are very good, our fathers are very proud of us. When we get a little bit out of line, our mothers are pointed at your children. So in this particular case, Seychelles really has successfully reached this stage because of the lines of presidents, starting with President James Michel, President Danny Ford, now President Ramkalwan. And I say this because anybody who's worked long enough in development knows that political leadership transitions can become very depressing burial ceremonies for good initiatives. But here we see the good initiative just roaring ahead. And I must say, where we stand now, perhaps the road is harder because it's easy to improve when the base is low. But Your Excellency, now your task is to improve when the base is so high. And improving is going to just be spectacular because it's not only for Seychelles, but it's now for the world. So it's Seychelles multiplied by 194 plus 12. That's, I would say, a long toll, but I'll come back to that point because I think I have learned a little bit about Seychelles. I wouldn't claim to know it, but I've learned a little bit. So one teachable moment to any member state that is watching, anybody who is watching, is continuity of political focus, political leadership that is focused on national development, national progress, and in this case, the care and development, holistic development of a child is a very key aspect of success. There is no success without political will and political support, no matter the technical prowess you may have in the country. And anybody who thinks they can dismiss political involvement in anything that you are doing is just simply hallucinating. That's the nature of development business. So I'm very pleased, sir. And I also take liberties speaking to you because I'm speaking to my president as a SADC national. So I'm home. What else can't I say? From 2011 going forward, we have seen rigorous biannual reviews, retrospective review, looking back, what did we achieve, but prospective reviews, looking forward, what now are the challenges that lie ahead. And that diligence of technical work has been superb in driving Seychelles forward. Yes, political leadership is just fundamental, it's inescapable. But good politicians with fantastic dreams and aspirations may often be let down by the lack of technical know-how that can translate those visions and aspirations into implementable, impactful programs. My little experience with Seychelles is that it's been blessed by both. There has been committed technical focus that is comprised of people who are ready to learn, people who are very well endowed in terms of their expertise, but who are also ready to reach out to enrich their expertise with expertise from outside. And that is why aliens from out of space like myself came to call Seychelles home, working side by side with national experts, pushing the envelope and moving forward. I think we could ask, why is it such a big deal? Because human nature has a way of trivializing success. When something is successful, people tend to behave as if it's nothing, it's not a big deal. But it is a hard call to have reached the level where Seychelles is today. And One could ask, but why is the political leadership so fired up about Seychelles? Why is President Ramkalawan standing virtually in Tashkent and committing and rallying other heads of state to really invest better, not just monetarily, but in every respect, on the holistic early development of children? In other words, what is ECD and why does it matter? A detailed answer to this question belongs in another forum, not here. And that's also because I could go on and on. But for this forum, it suffices just to say, holistic early childhood development is the bedrock of equitable human resources development. It is an inescapable foundation. It is also the bedrock of holistic and equitable human development, which is much broader than human resources development. And it is an inescapable first installment towards long-term human capital accumulation that is required to drive shared growth in a country and in the world. So we aren't talking about kids here. We are talking about the future of Seychelles and the future of the world. And Your Excellency, these kids will stand and remember you forever, and so will the world, because the future is what you are paving, and we are very pleased to follow you and to provide any support we can. A lot of criticism is leveled against people who talk about the importance of ECCD that is presented as if it's a silver bullet. It isn't a silver bullet because there are many intervening variables, but it is the indispensable first strategic intervention towards equity. We talk a lot about the future we want, the future we deserve, the Africa you want, if you look at Africa 2060, and on and on. But what we want is equity, dignity for all, respect for human rights, shared development, and the right for each and every global citizen to live and thrive. And it starts by investing in the little ones. And this is important. I lead the World Heritage Group, and ECCD is one of our flagship programs. And ECCD was a flagship program for me when I was in UNESCO Secretariat, before the UNESCO Secretariat, and before, and it will always be. But it's because if we are serious about equity, the first intervention is ECD. Our mantra is that all children are born equal and of equal rights. What makes children unequal is the context within which they are born. And ECCD is the first intervention a government has at its hand to intervene and to make sure that children do not inherit the context that they were born in. Of course, when that context is marvelous, we want children to invest them. Your Excellency, we want little Ramkalawans to be political leaders. We want them to stand in the world globe, in front of the world stages, and rally the leadership of countries across the world and say, let's get up and do the right thing for children. But when a child has to inherit disadvantage, it is in your hands to use ECD to cut the risk of intergenerational inheritance of disadvantage. And this is why today we see Seychelles is with a human capital index that is impressively high relative to any country in the world. There's also this habit of saying in the region in what? Seychelles is a global player. and its Human Development Index is right up there. Its Child Development Index is right up there, and that is why we are here to follow. You may ask, I think it was my colleague from UNESCO, if ECCD is so important, then why do so many children, maybe it's the ADG, why is it so difficult to deliver on it? And why do we have an uncomfortable proportion of children in the world not having access to ECCD and therefore not reaping the future benefits of ECCD? And Honorable Angie Moteka knows exactly what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say it's because countries tend to be impatient with building resilient, enduring systems that can deliver for all. And they go into a patchwork of quick winnables, and then they never win. But they keep delivering. The one thing that Seychelles started strong on is a system, a resilient system, and it is relentlessly following on that system over the years. The fact that countries are impatient with building systems makes ECCD very complex, because by its nature, ECCD is complex. It's a multi-sectoral entity service, and it has multi-stakeholder delivering ECCD, from others who are just warehousing children in their garages, calling it ECCD, to real ECCD, and everything in between. And this, without a system, makes ECCD very prone to fragmentation, to fragility, to ineffectiveness, duplication of costs, duplication of resources, and the list goes on. So Seychelles today speaks of these frameworks, these policies, parliament-passed regulatory frameworks, building a system block by block. And now Seychelles is a Category 2 institute working for the world. If it is so difficult for countries to build systems, they are looking up to you, Your Excellency, now to bear the torch and to help them fix their systems. So when countries reach a crunch, they will come to Seychelles for technical support, for advice, for sharing experiences, and so on and so forth. At this point, one could say, who? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Or to go to the original expression, uneasy is the head that wears the crown. But the little bit I've known about Seychelles is that this is a country that is very easy with wearing the crown. It wears it with pomp and ceremony, and it shakes its head very easily with the crown. During the press conference with the Honorable Minister Moteka and the Honorable Minister for Education in Seychelles, Minister Moteka commented about Seychelles being up on the leaderboard of education quality in SADC, and with the SACMEC results coming soon. We have seen Seychelles lead dialogue on the global economy until the global economy became nomenclature, when originally everybody was talking about the brown and the green economy. Now we know the brown, the green, and the blue in this nice blue economy. At a global level, we've seen the Seychelles ECCD indicators reach those of the so-called best practice first world country. It is a high-income country. Sweden, Finland, whatever, Seychelles is right up there. So this isn't a country that is bashful about wearing the crown. When the 40th session of the General Conference decided on the Category 2 Institute, it wasn't just to recognize achievements that Seychelles have already made. That is not the point. That's already done. The 40th session of the General Conference was expressing trust in the future of Seychelles, leading the world to the future. So it is the future we are looking at, and I know the wearer of the crown will wear it with pomp and ceremony. Your Excellency, it has always been an honor for me to be in Seychelles. It is even more honored to have received your letter, sir, appointing me as the chair of the board. I'm so comfortable accepting that letter and the honor you bestowed on me, and I bragged to all the board members, don't worry, he is going to give us all the support we need. We are easy like a Sunday morning. So they are all assured that we are in absolute ease, but we undertake to work very hard. And we know that the Category 2 Institute will receive all the support it needs, the political, the spiritual. Look at how we started this meeting. I feel very blessed already. And most importantly, the resources at a global scale. We are here to honor your wishes, sir, and we are pleased to be with you. I thank you very much, and I thank you on my behalf and on behalf of the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Marope, for your words of inspiration and appreciation. We are truly honored to have you with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the highlight of our ceremony, time for the official inauguration of Iecd as a Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education under the auspices of UNESCO. I have the honor of inviting the President of the Republic, Mr. Wivel Ramkalawan, for his inauguration address. Mr. President.
I will not go through the long list, but I would say, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. We've heard some wonderful speeches. We've heard some very kind words for which I am most grateful. Dr. Marope, thank you very much for your words, and rest assured that the commitment of Seychelles is at 100%, and this is exactly where it will remain. It is with a great sense of pleasure and pride that I extend a warm welcome to all of you who are sharing the pride, our pride, today. This for Seychelles is a momentous occasion, and therefore allow me to convey my warmest wishes to our international partners who have joined us for this memorable event. We are today celebrating the achievements of a small government entity, the Institute of Early Childhood Development. And this small government entity has accomplished one of its major milestones, the global recognition and designation as a Category 2 Center for ECCE under the auspices of the UNESCO. This feat is of immense importance, not only for the Institute, but for our small island nation. And through this, we are showing that we may be small, we may have a small population, and also a small economy, but Seychelles can achieve high standards in the field of early childhood care and education. The ECC agenda in Seychelles has been propelled to the next level through high-level strategic direction, strong institutional leadership, and multi-sectorial collaboration. Throughout its short history, the Iecd has undergone major transformation and made remarkable achievements in the domains of standard setting, quality assurance, policy development and coordination, advocacy and capacity building, as well as research and knowledge production. In all these areas, it has built strong cooperation and collaborated with relevant local and international authorities in an effort to establish itself and gain global recognition. Our small island state has been able to record such progress because we wasted no time to start working towards our vision for our young children. Ladies and gentlemen, like all newly created institutions, at its inception, Iecd had its dreams, its ambitions and aspirations. It has worked relentlessly to convert them into the tangible realities that we are witnessing today. Its new mandate will give it more scope to engage with the regional and international communities to build capacity for ECC, promote collaboration and strengthen networks for knowledge transfer and sharing of best practices in an effort to further enhance the ECC landscape in the region and beyond. When it comes to taking care of our young children, the Seychelles government will continue to show its firm commitment. This is in line with the government's fundamental principles and best practices to build a strong and resilient society for all our citizens. We have reasons to be proud of our achievements, past and present, in promoting child development and well-being. Globally, we have done well with regards to our indicators for education, health, and welfare. We have achieved universal primary education, and we are signatories to international conventions and frameworks linked with child development and protection. As a country, we are fully committed to achieving the SDGs by 2030, especially SDG 4, Target 4.2, which aims to ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality pre-primary care and education to enable them to be ready for primary school. As a small island developing state, like other seeds, we face the same vulnerability challenges of limited financial resources, natural calamities exacerbated by climate change, social inequalities, and threats of global instability. We are aware that addressing these critical challenges is crucial to making progress towards a more sustainable and equitable future, especially for our young children. But however, we remain hopeful that our strong and united voices will be heard and our concerted efforts will allow us to make good progress. We are all cognizant of the fact that our continued progress depends largely on a well-educated and healthy population. It all starts with giving our children a strong foundation. For this, we are determined to join hands and work collaboratively with other countries and international bodies to create the optimal conditions for a sustainable world. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me at this juncture to express my country's deep appreciation and sincere gratitude to UNESCO for technical support and assistance in bridging gaps and paving the way forward. Thank you to the Director General of UNESCO, Ms. Audrey Azoulay, and Assistant Director, Mrs. Stefania Giannini, for appraising and recognizing the inherent strengths and potential of Iecd Seychelles to undergo such tremendous transformation within a short period of time. The UNESCO International Bureau of Education proved to be an invaluable advisor and collaborator. As Iecd makes its entrance into a new era of development, we will continue to look to the UNESCO as a faithful partner and seek its continued support and guidance. The Seychelles government would also like to thank the member states and associate members of UNESCO for acknowledging Iecd's achievements and for offering their resounding support in the process of its transformation into a Category 2 center for ECCE. We are indebted to the UNESCO Secretariat for embracing and actualizing the decision of the member states and also for accompanying the Seychelles in the whole process. Thank you to all other international partners and collaborators for the sharing of expertise and the strong collaboration. Throughout its journey and in all its endeavors, Iecd has enjoyed the support of experts in the field of early childhood care and education. One of these is no other than our dear Dr. Marope. You've been working as the director of UNESCO International Bureau of Education, and you have been an instrumental partner, advisor, and critical friend, and has given a lot of assistance and support to Seychelles, allowing it to reach the height it has in the field. So we say, thank you very much. It is indeed. Seychelles is your home, not only because we share the same SADC region, but consider it your home where you will always be welcomed. And this is why I happily signed the letter. As recognition for all that we have been able to gain from your professional expertise and wholehearted assistance, again, I want to share with you that Dr. Marope has been appointed as the chairperson of Iecd's governing board as per its new mandate. And again, I want to say thank you for accepting the responsibility, and I wish you well in the tasks ahead. I am confident that under your leadership, the Institute will deliver on its mandate and move from strength to strength. I take this opportunity to also extend my best wishes to all the other board members. I wish you the very best, and my prayer is that you will do your utmost for Seychelles and for our children. I would also like to acknowledge the support of the United Arab Emirates in providing the financing for the construction of a model center due to begin soon. Here, I would like to extend my warmest thanks to His Highness Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the UAE, for his personal interest in the project. This in itself will be another big step for which we are most grateful. To the Institute's board, management, and staff. And here, of course, I look to Captain Savi, to Mrs. Shopi, and to all others who surround you with so much love and so much knowledge and every time you've come to Cabinet, we've been impressed with the presentations, and we saw Mr. André Lest. I don't see Mr. Lest in the, oh. Mr. Lest is there, yeah. He was my old teacher at college. And to see him so many years later come and explain to us all the intricacies of what the Iecd has been doing and the plans has always been so inspiring. So thank you very much for all those who have been involved, past and present. And of course, in the hall today, I also see past ministers, past principal secretaries, and others who have been heavily involved in taking us to where we are today. And as was said earlier, it's not about us personally, but it's about our beautiful little country, and it's about our children. So thank you very much for all your efforts, for everything. I know you can only accomplish such tasks in only one way, by putting your heart in the task. And you have all done it, and for this, Seychelles is thankful. And we wish you all the very best in everything that you are doing. As I say, if Iecd is where it is today, it has been due to your hard work, dedication, and commitment to the Institute's mission that every child develops holistically, has positive learning experiences, and a strong foundation for success throughout life. Special thanks and appreciation go to the sectors in ECC: health, social, community development, education, and family department. In particular, the chairpersons of the technical committees for your steadfast support and proactive engagement. Finally, but very importantly, a word of thanks goes to all ECC service providers in home-based and center-based childcare establishments, to stakeholders and partners and parents who have collaborated with Iecd and shared its vision. Alors, mon vie, dit merci beaucoup. Tous nos bonnes Cécillois qui peuvent prendre soin avec nos bonnes enfants dans notre bonne centre, dans notre village. Mon connaît qui vous dit, prend beaucoup pour nous élever les enfants, pour nous donner aux enfants l'encouragement. Mais autres, ça travail qu'ils ont fait dans la cour, il y a vraiment une qui nous apprécie en quantité. On connaît parfois les autres complaintes, ben standard qui gagnent métier. Mais c'est moi envie de dire avec les autres qui, si nous pas mettre standard, si nous pas rôde ça qui est meilleur, nous pas pour jamais arrive quand nous envie arriver. Et alors ça bon standard, c'est pour faire si que nos bons enfants ils gagnent ça bon commencement dans la vie et à tout moment nous pour supporter, mais en même temps aussi par les autres connaît gouvernement il là pour appuyer les autres dans tout ça bonne démarche qu'ils ont besoin faire. Et vrai qui parfois bonne demande beaucoup. Les temples demandent c'est pas combien de mètres carrés pour les enfants. C'est pas combien de toilettes qu'ils ont besoin, combien la chambre. Tout ça bonne demande spécifique. Mais tout ça là c'est pour nous capables de pousser. Et alors c'est pas besoin de en colère parfois. Les temps ça bonne demande ils gagnent mettre devant les autres, mais réaliser c'est pour nous capables arrive plus haut possible et pour nous donner tous nos bons enfants. Chaque individu sa meilleure essence dans la vie. And here I want to end by saying Seychelles will remain steadfast in its support for the Institute as a center of excellence, a model of good practice, while ensuring it delivers according to its new international mandate. We will assume our responsibility to provide the resources needed for the administration and proper functioning of the center in accordance with the UNESCO agreement. We have reached this far, and the future is full of promise. Iecd will continue its journey into a new era with renewed strength and vigor and the same burning passion to cooperate with its partners at both local and global levels and work collaboratively to providing all young children a strong and winning start to enjoy love, good health, care and protection, respect and learning opportunities in order to develop the strength and resilience needed to cope in a rapidly changing world and be prepared for a better tomorrow. In this endeavor, I convey to the Institute my warmest wishes for continued success. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pleasure that I officially inaugurate the Seychelles Institute of Early Childhood Development as the new Category 2 Center for ECCE under the auspices of UNESCO with a global mandate. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Iecd is grateful for your strong commitment and continued support. To Iecd, we offer our warmest congratulations. May you grow from strength to strength, having now moved to the next level. Seychelles and the world recognize and are proud of your achievements. The Institute is entering a new era with a new mandate as a UNESCO Category 2 Center. This calls for a new logo. We will now witness the unveiling of the new Iecd logo throughout the following video. Happy viewing.
The Iecd logo, hailing the national colors of Seychelles, yellow, red, green, blue, and white, a symbol of our national identity. The color lilac represents our strong connection to our international partners and allies. The white spark connects all of us with a common goal. The child is moving towards the lilac petal, which is representative of our new regional and international mandate. As our flower blossoms, so does Iecd, boasting 5 petals, defining our strength. The acronym is now bolder with sharper colors, illustrating our accomplishment and new status as a Category 2 Center under the auspices of UNESCO. As a center of excellence, we now have the privilege and pride to officially bear the logo of UNESCO in unison with our own.
As Iecd embarks on its new journey with UNESCO, with its new outlook and direction, it is fitting that this is manifested through an artistic performance that brings us all together in joyful celebration. Please join me in inviting our very own Chevalier de l'Ordre des Arts et des Lettres and Medal of Order of the Republic of Seychelles, Joseph Samy, a seasoned musician and journalist, to perform Iecd's new theme song, The Promise. He will be accompanied by the Twinkle Choir, comprising of children from all the schools on Mahé.
Child, you've got magical ways to make me do things right. With your laughter and your light, I get the strength to carry on.
Oh, wow. Thank you for the dreams I can't believe it now. For your silent sacrifice, for a better start in life.
Children of the world, wherever your rights to live in a peaceful world. Our voices may be small, but let it echo through tomorrow, with the promise to make our world a better place. My child, I will protect you from your fears and tears and misery, till you're old enough to face the world. But don't you worry, I'll be there.
Oh, world, show me the beauty of my land to save for the little ones. Green fields to greet our friends, to dance among the trees and leaves.
Children of the world, wherever you are, from the Seychelles Isles we send you love, and your rights to live in a peaceful world. Our voices may be small, but let it echo through tomorrow, with the promise to make our world a better place. Unissons-nous pour plus d'amour, pour les enfants, ensemble un homme and peace, l'amour, pour bons enfants, together let us bring more love, for the children of the world, wherever you are. From the Seychelles Isles we send you love, and your rights to live in a peaceful world. Our voices may be small, but let it echo through tomorrow, with a promise to make our world a better place. Unissons-nous pour plus d'amour, pour les enfants, ensemble un homme and peace, l'amour, pour bons enfants, together let us bring more love, with the promise to make this world a better place.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mick Anthony, Logistics, Mr. Aaron Jean, our sound engineer, Mr. Bennett Akush, the founder of the Twinkle Choir, Darren Bonlam, our recording engineer. I would like to thank the Iecd team and the CEO, Mrs. Shirley Shopi, for trusting me to write the anthem. And a big round of applause goes to the children of the world. They're going out. They are the children of the world. Thank you so much.
This rendition is undoubtedly one such piece that will resonate with listeners across the globe. May I ask Chevalier Joseph Samy to stay on stage and together with Miss Mia Sarah, to present the guests of honor with a souvenir copy of the lyrics and the new theme song. President Ram Kalawan. Minister Mot Sheka. Minister Valentin, Dr. Marope, and Mr. Makarigaki. Thank you, Mia and Mr. Sami. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of our ceremony, and we will conclude with a symbol of unity and celebration. We invite our guests of honor to join us in front for the cake cutting, marking the inauguration of Iecd as a Category 2 Center for Early Childhood Care and Education under the auspices of UNESCO and symbolizing the shared commitment on the way forward. May I call on the President of the Republic, First Lady Ramkalawan, Minister Valentin, Dr. Marope, Captain David Savi, Mrs. Tropi, and Mr. Makarigaki on stage. In front, please. Sincerely thank all our distinguished guests who joined us today to celebrate with Iecd this milestone event. Thank you to those who have also been following us on SBC Television and YouTube. To capture this unforgettable moment, I invite our guests of honor to join us on stage for a souvenir photo. This will include the President, President Ramkalawan, First Lady Ramkalawan, Minister Motsheka, Dr. Marope, the Cabinet of Ministers present, and Mr. Alexandros, Captain Savi, and Mrs. Tropi. May I kindly invite you for the photo on stage.
child. You've got magical ways to make me do things right. With your laughter and your light, I get the strength to carry on.
Oh, world, thank you for the dreams I can believe in now. For your silent sacrifice, for a better start in life.
Children of the world, wherever you are, from the Seychelles Isles we send you love, and your rights to live in a peaceful world. Our voices